Hey, I'm Jess,
I'm Marissa.
and this is Totally Candid. Season 3, baby!
Yeah, I know.
Holy shit, this is wild.
We have something to tell you guys. So I guess we'll rewind a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like if this is the first episode that you're coming across, hello.
Hey, welcome.
We originally started out as a photography podcast because we're both photographers, and we thought it would be good to have like an accessible source of education and information for either aspiring photographers or seasoned photographers, to have information just like available, because we also think that a lot of other photography podcasts or influencers in general can be kind of gatekeepy with their knowledge. So the whole point of our podcast was to not have that happen.
Be super candid about our opinions and our knowledge, and just talk about everything that we could with photography.
Yep. But to be totally candid with you guys, it feels like there's only so much we can talk about with photography. We both love it.
Yeah. I feel like we started to get a little bit burnt out.
Yeah, and it's like, honestly, it's hard to talk about different things in different ways when we've like already made episodes about similar topics.
Yeah.
And it was difficult for us. And so over the break that we had from season 2 to season 3, we did a lot of like thinking on our own, and then kind of like came together and brainstormed a bunch and realized and remembered that the whole reason we started this podcast, like even before photo, was because for our whole friendship, every time we would sit and talk, whether it was our apartment or in the studio while we were just like working on our stuff in college, is we always would just joke and be like, we should just like have a podcast. Like, this would be so fun to just listen to. Like,
we talk about literally anything and everything
for hours.
We never run out of things to talk about.
Never.
I'm biased, but I think we're hilarious. And we just have a lot of fun just talking with each other.
Yeah. So we just kind of realized that I think we're going to change gears with how our podcast is, and we're going to go more that way, and we're going to like really lean into the candid part, and there will still be some photography mixed in with everything else that we talk about, but at the end of the day, like, we want to continue doing this, and we have a lot of fun recording this podcast, especially so on the episodes that are kind of just like free for all, and we can talk about things that we really enjoy. Again, not that we don't enjoy photography, but when we like don't have
a structure.
Yeah. So we're going to do that.
Yeah.
And we totally understand if you started listening to this originally to be an educational podcast.
Yeah. I mean, we still have those episodes available that you can always go back and reference. And I know we talked about, and we're still trying to figure it out a little bit, but like we said that there would be at least like 1 or 2 photography episodes like every so often. Yeah. Because that is something that we do. It is part of our life and something that we have in common. So I don't think it's going to be like, it's never going to be about photography again. But it's going to be about a lot of other things, too, that we're interested in. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, we're best friends that have a lot of similar interests.
Tons.
Way too much. Sometimes I'm like, whoa, we're the same person.
Yeah. But also, like, I think what you mentioned this to me when we were brainstorming stuff that I didn't even really think about is the good thing is that we work together a ton. Yeah. But the bad thing is that like we don't have different stories very often. No. So like it's just hard for us to talk about our experiences as individuals when we work so much together. Yes. And then it makes it kind of like seem like we are a business together. Right. Which we both have our own separate practices. But again, like we work together a lot. Like I second shoot for you a ton. So like it's hard to not look at us as like, oh, like they're a photo duo pair. It's like as much as I think that we are when we do work together, like ultimately we're not.
Exactly. Like we both own our own businesses. We're not like, you're not under JPP. I'm not under MJP. Like we work together, but we're separate.
Right. Yeah. So we're yeah. This is the new era of Totally Candid. I'm really excited.
I'm stoked.
We've kind of wanted to get the big like elephant in the room out of the way first.
Yes.
And just kind of like reintroduce ourselves for new people, new viewers, new listeners. Yeah. We also will be posting these on YouTube.
I hopefully.
I think so.
That's
We're
the
like
goal.
pretty certain. Yeah. I think it'll just be really fun.
It's a new era for everything.
Yeah, because like it'll be more accessible for a lot of people. And also, I don't know about you, but a lot of podcasts that are my favorite podcasts, I do listen to on YouTube, and I watch them while I'm getting ready or while I'm like brushing my teeth at night or before I go to bed.
I live a lot of my life on YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, it started in middle school and then it hasn't ended. It hasn't stopped yet.
And that's something that has connected us too.
Yes. Yeah.
We have a lot of YouTube interests. Which, yeah, those are going to come up a lot for sure.
But at the end of the day, like the name of the podcast, Totally Candid, it's going to stay. And like we just are always candid with each other and just like love having true and authentic conversations with each other. So I feel like this shift in trajectory for the podcast, this like shift in content, I think is just gonna reign even more true to the name and to the whole reason why we started this. But don't you worry, like we said, we will have like photo related episodes. It just won't be every single one. And we'll probably talk a little bit about things here and there, but as always, if there are specific things that you want us to talk about and share our experiences with or about, you can always let us know. You can email us at totallycandidpodcast@gmail.com. You can DM us at totallycandidpod, I think, right? Or podcast. I don't even remember. It's literally been so long.
It's been a hot minute.
But you can DM us on Instagram too, or on our personal photo Instagrams as well. But yeah, we're just gonna shoot the shit from now on. And just have fun.
Hopefully you can relate to other things that we're interested in too. I think what I'm the most excited about too is like, I think this podcast has made us hang out more often.
Yeah, it has.
And like, although I think before it felt a lot like work because photography is our work too. Where like now the whole reason why we wanted to do it in the first place is because we just wanted to hang out more. And so now like we're literally just going to record what we usually do, which is talk while we hang out. Like we do other things and
Sorry, I'm adjusting.
We're gonna play, or like we play games all the time, so like maybe we'll play a little game at some point like on the pod.
I know. We had a really great brainstorming session for like all the things that we could do and things we could talk about, and it's just like I want to do all of them right now.
I know, literally every single one.
Can we record a 12-hour episode and do all of them today?
I mean, we can break it up. It's fine. We'll just be like, okay, end, start.
Just cut this episode into 12 different ones and we record straight through.
That's called efficiency, I think.
Crazy. There's cat hair in my tea.
Where's Zebby?
Not here. He's in my room.
I was like, where did he go?
At my parents' house. No, I'm just kidding. He's on my bed.
I love that. I haven't seen him yet. I haven't said hi. What tea is that?
It's bitter. It's the Trader Joe's Earl Grey. It's not good.
Did you
I love you, Trader Joe's. No.
Because that can make things bitter too.
Okay, here's the thing. I know that you were like, I'm going to set a timer and I'm going to take my tea bag out right when it's 5 minutes because I don't like it too bitter. Whenever I drink the Bigelow Earl Grey decaf, I never take the tea bag out and it's perfect the whole time. But the Trader Joe's one, if I leave it in for longer than 3 minutes, it tastes awful. Like this is try this. It's bitter and I don't like it.
I don't know if I like Earl Grey anyways.
I like Earl Grey. There's a little bit of honey in there. But it's like bitter.
That cream?
Oh my god. Wait. If Steven comes over later when he walks in, I'm going to say, that cream? That's a 10.
That's a 10. Yeah, that is a little bitter.
Anyway. Yeah, so that's an example of like what this is going to be from now on. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just really excited. I think one thing that I think we talked about this in our episode, like our resolutions episode.
Yeah.
One thing that I am really trying to make sure that I do this year is like just like be and make sure that there's a separation of like work and life and like enjoy my life and enjoy my free time. Yeah. Because like because suddenly I haven't recorded in 2 months and suddenly I don't know what to do.
I know. I'm like, where do I put my hands?
No, but I feel like obviously we record this podcast in my free time, at least, well, our free time, because I also have a full-time job, as everyone else who has been listening knows. So rather than making it work, this is just gonna feel a lot better, and you'll get to know us a lot more, I think.
I think so too.
I think we've shared a lot about ourselves, but
it's like in the eyes of like the photo world, and we have a lot more interest that like I think we were afraid to talk about before, and not in a sense of like, oh my god, like we're gonna get judged if we talk about it, but I think it was more like, well, that's not the time and place, so like we can mention it, but like we need to stick to like what we were gonna say, but like I don't know, I just like chatting with you, and like we do so many other things together that like I don't think a lot of people know. You know, like literally last week we had a game night, which we haven't had a game night with just us two in a really long time.
I don't think we ever have, actually.
Which is crazy.
I don't think we ever have. Well, because we'll
go to game nights together.
Yes, yeah. Because I was going to say, the games that we normally play are like Catan, Above and Below. We used to play Resistance a ton in college. Codenames, Secret Hitler, like Cards Against Humanity. But all of those games are like...
It's like 4+ people.
Yeah, 4+ players. We would play them in a huge group because we had a big group of friends in college too. But
but the other night, or I think it was last weekend.
Yeah, it was Saturday. It was a week ago.
Hell yeah. We played Throw Burrito for the first time.
Guys, it was so fun.
I don't think I've laughed that hard in a really long time.
I know, and I took a video of it, so hopefully, I'm assuming by the time, or maybe what we can do is we can post a video of that with, we can tease it. And like, as like a little episode teaser, but we'll have a clip of the video.
It was hilarious.
She kept running away from me every time.
I didn't want to get hit by the fucking burrito. I'm sorry.
I don't know if you guys know the game, but to give you a brief explanation of how you play, like you have, so it can be 2 to 6 players or 2 to 8 players. Is it 6?
We have the box.
I think it's
right
6.
There. What does that say?
I don't know.
2 to 6.
Okay.
So it took me so long to read.
It's sideways. So it's like 2 to 6 players for this game. But what you do is each person starts with like 5 cards. You can only have up to 7 in your hand at once, but like you're passing cards like quickly by by everyone in a circle. And
what's
you have
that card game? I think it's Spit. Have you played Spit before?
Yeah.
So it's literally Spit, but then there's burritos involved.
Yeah, and so you have to make like groups of 3. Like you have to get 3 of a kind of things, and when you get the ones that are burrito related, so it's like burrito war, burrito wall war, brawl, duel.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. So of those 3, if you get those, like that group of 3, then you have to call it out as you get the third one. Each of them means something different. So like if it's a burrito war and you're playing with more than 2 people, anyone can throw any of the 2 burritos at any person.
Yeah.
If it's a duel, it has to be between the person who got the pairs and then they pick another person. If it's a brawl, it's you and a person like one over to your like right or left. So it's like the person, like you skip one person, then it's the next one if it's a bigger group. But when it's 2 people, it's just always a duel. So
literally always, but the duel is different because you have to start with your backs to each other and count down.
So it's like a Western, like a film, like a draw. Like
but
draw.
It's like
but you turn around, you're like 3D. Wah, wah, wah. But like you're facing the other way, and then you go like 3, 2, 1 burrito, and then you turn around, you whip it at each other. And so
how many times did I hit you in the head?
I think only once.
Okay.
But there was one where I think I ducked. Oh, because I knew I knew she was gonna throw it exactly. I'm also I'm peeking so much. I'm gonna back up.
That's okay. We're stoked about burrito.
So we turned around after we said 3, 2, 1 burrito. She throws it, but I knew she was gonna throw it immediately towards my head because that's like right where her shoulder is. So I ducked and I dodged it, and she was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Ha!" And I like grabbed my burrito and threw it at her, but I missed it still. And then you ran behind that curtain, that green curtain.
I didn't know where the burrito went, and I knew that you had one near you too. So I was like, I'm fucked. Like I need to hide.
You ran behind the curtain, and I was like, "What the hell?" But then I think that might have been in the video. I don't remember. I think it was. But either way, it was so fun. But that's like we love playing games. Like, anytime that I go to her and Steven's apartment, like, I'm always like, so...
should we play a game?
Catan?
I know. We play Catan way too often.
Because you just got your new coffee table, and it's perfect for Catan.
I know. We thrifted the coffee table. Again, if you have listened, if you are a returning listener, we've talked about that before. But that table is perfect for Catan.
It's perfect for any board game because it's a circle and it's big, and there's
the only thing that it needs is like the slot that you can put cards in.
I know.
One day, maybe I'll drill it.
No, but you know what? Do you have Scrabble?
Yes.
Because you could use the little like letter things as it, or I'm sure you could probably find like a card.
That's smart.
Stand thing.
That's really smart.
I'm innovative. What can I say?
Yeah, you are. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
But yeah, so like board games is like something that we love.
I mean, you guys can't see. We're in my living room currently. You can't see, but underneath my coffee table in my living room, I have 4 wicker baskets full of games and then board games stuffed in between said baskets. So there's probably about like 30 or 40 games.
I know, and my collection's growing too. I mean, like you got Steven a game. It was more a card game, but I just consider all of that like games. You got me a game, Block Party. Mm-hmm. And then I got Wavelength and Hues and Cues for Christmas.
We still haven't played Wavelength.
I should have brought it.
I know. We still haven't played Wavelength.
Maybe we can play it on here.
Yeah. That would be fun.
I know.
Wow.
Because that's 2 players.
That would be so fun.
Steven and I have played a bunch.
Wow.
But,
okay. No, that would be so fun, I think.
So hope you guys are in for a wild ride because we're going to do a lot of fun things on here.
Yeah, I know. And I think because as we're talking more about like how our podcast is changing too, like some of my favorite podcasts, probably my favorite podcast in general right now is Smosh Mouth. I know I've talked about them before. Yeah. And I know it's whatever. It might be cringe that we are 27 and 28 years old listening to a YouTube channel that has a podcast again.
I'm going to say something right there, Marissa.
Go for it.
It's not cringy because they're the same age as us, if not older. They're not making content for children.
Yeah, that's true. They're in their early 30s.
Like, the content, even, like, yeah, they bleep stuff out, but, like...
Well, they have to. They won't get monetized.
Right. But, like, their jokes are not, like, for kids.
That's true. You know what? You're right. It's not cringe. I mean, I guess if you started listening to Smosh or, like, watch Smosh, like, back in the day, maybe you're like, oh, like, Smosh.
But it's so different now.
So much. Yeah. But
I feel like I'm hanging out with friends.
Yeah, I agree. But I love, like, Smosh Mouth specifically. I think, like, Shane and Amanda's, like, they're like dynamic, their chemistry back and forth like as hosts is just really, really good. I don't know, and their podcaster is always really goofy, stupid, silly fun, and I love that. And it like they have like topics that they have for each episode, but they just talk about random shit most of the time, and
things come up and then bring it back.
So like
that's kind of the vibe I think that we want.
So like we're like heavily inspired by that, also heavily inspired by Two Girls One Ghost, as we've talked about too. We also just love all things paranormal. I mean, one of my goals for 2025 was to talk to ghosts this year. It's gonna happen. I was looking up ghost tours the other night. So.
Marissa, should we tell them about Spooks and Spuds?
Yeah, okay. So here's another thing. We have big plans for 2025, guys. So
huge plans.
Do you want to bring it? Because it was your idea. You also named the trip.
I did name the trip. That's going to be our hashtag. But, well, you brought up something too. So bringing it back to like Smosh.
Yeah.
There's a bit that they do called Spud Hut, which is one of my favorite bits of all time. It's so, so funny. And they have like a show now, whatever.
Do you remember the origin for Spud Hut?
Yes. It was the, I don't know the name of the game, but it was the trial game.
Yeah.
And Chance made up the character.
Yeah, he was supposed to be like one of the witnesses or something, right?
Yeah.
Like he was taking
like, I'm Jerry Spruce.
Yeah, he's like, I'm Jerry Spruce, owner of the Spud Hut.
And like, I think what I loved about that was he was just dying laughing and committed so hard. And I was like, shut the fuck up. And he just kept going. And then they just like kept bringing it back, and now it's like a little like mini series that they do. But we were talking when we hung out last weekend, you were like, did you know that there's a real Spud Hut? And I was like, shut the fuck up. I was like, hold on. So then I had to look it up. I looked up the reviews, almost 5 stars. There's over 1,000 reviews, and it's 4.7 stars.
But none of them are Smosh related too, which I think is crazy because I found it on Smosh Twitter.
Yeah.
And
I don't think they know though. They clearly, because they made merch.
I don't know. I have to put it on like Reddit or like tweet it at one of them and be like, do y'all know that there's a Spud Hut in real life?
I know.
Because like that's crazy.
I know. Like sponsor.
I know.
But So we were like, okay, where is this place? It's in Indiana.
Yeah.
Right? Bringing it back to paranormal things.
Yeah.
Marissa and I also bonded over spooky stuff.
Yeah.
We love Sam and Colby as YouTubers. You love Project Fear. You're trying to get me into them. I haven't watched yet, but everything you have me watch, I end up loving.
Did you also watch Ghost Adventures growing up?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because like Ghost Adventures was huge for me and one of my childhood best friends. Like, shout out to Emma, if you're listening. Hey.
Hey,
but
Emma.
we used to watch literally all the time, like from... When did they even come out? I don't remember. Like 2008 or something?
Like we were young.
Like elementary school to like college we would watch.
Yeah.
Well, then you and I started watching Ghost Adventures
in college, yeah.
But Ghost Adventures is another paranormal group.
We watched Demon House. Like we just
Great
love...
movie.
I know.
Crazy
We'll
movie.
have to tell that story one day. But so we just love paranormal things. So Sam and Colby ended up buying a haunted school in Iowa.
Yeah.
And so originally, when they announced that they came out with the school, we were like, okay, well, we have to go. We have to go to Iowa.
Yeah.
Like...
It's the Farrar School, Farrar Elementary in Iowa.
Yeah. So we were like, we're going to make this happen like sooner or later. So then I was like, okay, wait, Marissa, where's Iowa in relation to Indiana?
This was during our game night last week also, mind you.
We were feeling crazy.
Yeah.
And so we were just talking about it. I was looking it up and I was like, girl, it's only like they're 7 hours away from each other. I was like, we can do this in a weekend if we road trip.
We sure can.
So we were just talking about it, thinking about logistics, all that stuff. And we were on our way to go pick up the Throne of Glass series at Target.
Oh, yeah, because you also impulse bought that.
Yeah, worth it.
It's on sale.
And as we were getting out of the car, I was just like, oh, this is a perfect name for it. It's Spooks and Spuds. So we're going to try and road trip.
Yeah. We're really going to try and do it this year. I think we can make it work.
I think if we find like a long weekend or like see what we can do, I think we can make it work. And we might podcast on the road.
Oh, we're certainly going to podcast on the road. I think it would be absolutely hilarious.
We're going to be like, hour one, I have to pee.
Oh my God. Like it would be like even like a vlog or something. It would be so silly.
I would love that.
Yeah, I think it would be really fun. But yeah, so we're going to try and make that work. And then also relating back to the Farrar Elementary, like the haunted school stuff. So again, that would also knock off on my like resolution list for this year of communicating with spirits, talking to ghosts this year, because like I'm a believer of them. I might not have had the craziest experiences ever in my life, but
you've had a couple.
Yeah, I have more like intuitive experiences, like intuition experiences than I have like actual spirit stuff, because I've been around it. Like most of the people in my close inner circle have had like you, Stephen, and Caitlin have all had crazy paranormal experiences. And a family friend of mine, who was this family we used to go camping with, like growing up, from literally I think when I was like 4 or 5 years old to college age. I found out when I was in like early high school that the dad was like a paranormal investigator in his free time.
Why have you never told me this?
Because it was like a random fact that he told us once. We were on a camping trip and he was telling us about how he used to like hunt ghosts. And I was like, huh?
Hello?
And he was like, yeah. Have you never seen all the books on our bookshelf in our house? I was like, no. What are you talking about? And
I want to meet him.
Yeah. And he used to be like a full-time firefighter. I think he's retired now, but yeah, he would like, so when we would go on camping trips, sometimes he would like go on a ghost hunt with like other people, and he'd never let us go because he was like, you guys can't go because like if there's something that's like bad out there, like we don't want it to like attach to you. And I was like,
you're like, what?
Yeah.
Hello?
And so
that's crazy.
Yeah. So after that, like we went to their house for Christmas or Christmas Eve or something one other time, and then he showed me the books, and I was like, what the fuck? So again, I've been around people who have had experiences like all the time and crazy. I mean, you guys, the podcast episode that we had with Steven where he told his Ouija board story.
I know.
That is the craziest story I've ever heard in my entire life.
What episode was that? It was like 30 something.
I don't know. It was a Halloween episode.
I think it says Argo Stories. So
yeah, but
go
like,
listen to that. It's crazy.
That one was fucking crazy. If I didn't, like, I was already a believer after that story. I also believe any word that comes out of that man's mouth. I'll be so honest.
He's very convincing.
Yeah, he is. But like after hearing that story from him, I was like, holy shit. Like that is indisputable evidence of the paranormal, of an afterlife, of another side, of a world in between, whatever you want to call it. Like for that many people to experience it in one camp cabin together. And
yes.
Oh my God. That was my recording timer. That scared me.
Anywho,
I don't remember what I said before my timer went off.
We were talking about Steven. Oh, everyone in the cabin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy that everyone in that cabin just, like, experienced everything at the same time.
I know.
And that it was, like all the sound went away at the same time. The temperature changed at the same time. Like, they heard
the
things.
The air got, like, thick.
Yeah, like, all of these things just, like, happening that all of these people can recount and, like, can verify and vouch for.
Yeah.
It's just wild to me. So,
I know.
The other day when I was on my way home from work on the bus, I was looking up, like, ghost tours and stuff, like, actual paranormal tours.
When are we going?
Well, so I was looking and it was hard to find because there's ones in Boston that's, like, it's like gravestones, graveyards, ghouls and gravestones.
I think I've done one.
Ghouls and graveyards. There's one that's like a more theatrical one that talks about haunted history of Boston, but you don't actually go on a ghost hunt. I know for a fact I have done one in Plymouth.
Me and Steven did one in Boston. We got like the EVP reader or the EMF readers or whatever.
I did that in Plymouth. Yeah.
There's also, we could look in Newport, Rhode Island. There's a handful of them.
Yeah. But, like, I really, really, really want to do one. Because I just want to, like, I feel like I need to do, like, one or two before we go to Farrar. Because if Farrar is as haunted as...
I know.
Because I've also been watching a lot of, like, other, like, paranormal investigators go to Farrar. And, like, they are capturing really, really intense stuff. And so I'm very scared to go there for my first time.
I wonder... I wonder if Salem has any.
They do.
You know,
they
like
do.
the Hawthorne Hotel?
Yes.
That's like the most haunted.
They have a ton in Salem.
That.
Yeah.
Because...
we can also do the Lizzie Borden house one.
I think...
That's in Fall River. Have you done that one?
I think I did.
The Lizzie Borden house? You drove all the way to Fall River from Peabody?
What am I thinking of? No, it was in Newport. That one's in Fall River?
Yeah, I mean, that's like right on the border of Rhode Island, pretty much. You might have done Lizzie Borden.
Either that or, like, I heard about Lizzie Borden on that tour. It was, like, 15 years ago that I went on this tour, so it's like, I don't really know.
Well, but there are, so I was looking, there are tons, I mean, of course, it's Salem. There's tons of tours in Salem of different buildings and places and stuff. There is the Lizzie Borden house one that you can go to.
Like, we should find, like, a super haunted one that we can, like, prep for Farrar for.
Yes. Because I'm scared.
I don't want to support the Conjuring house anymore.
Well, also, they're not open to tours anymore. I think they're closed. They have closed. They have since closed after, not because of Sam and Colby, but after Sam and Colby went there, they closed very shortly after because all of the controversy with Cody and Satori came out. If you guys are... this whole episode's gonna be about ghosts. It's okay.
That's fine. Clearly we're passionate about it.
I know. If you guys are like into the paranormal sphere, there are these two pretty renowned investigators, Corey and Satori. Cody and Satori. I literally just said their names. I don't know their last names. They are engaged. They're a couple. They got really popular. They were popular beforehand, Cody more so specifically, because he was part of like a paranormal investigation group for a while before he met Satori, but they met each other, I think, when they started working at the Conjuring house together a couple years ago. And then Sam and Colby did their Hell Week series there, not this past Halloween, but last year, so 2023. And Sam and Colby brought a lot of like internet attention to them aside from like TV attention and stuff, where they would do this method where like they would hold wrists like this essentially, and in the demonstration they showed like it typically was like holding both wrists, and for some reason somehow that made like a beacon of energy, they claimed, and that ghosts were attracted to it, and that they would be able to directly communicate with spirits. So it would be like they would ask questions, and Satori would be the one that would talk majority of the time, and she would go through the alphabet, and like you would hear like footsteps and knocks and stuff, and multiple people did videos at the Conjuring House with Cody and Satori. But the whole thing with the Sam and Colby series is that they were just like showing this like crazy power that they have, whatever. After the series aired, everyone was like, that's crazy. They knew such specific things like that you can't necessarily research. But then as time went on, like months after the series released, like more people were doing videos, like other people from Paranormal, like sphere of YouTube were doing videos debunking Cody and Satori's methods, and videos were coming out of Cody doing this method before he met Satori after he claimed that he had never done it, and they discovered that they could both do it by themselves.
Because they said that they could only do it together.
Yeah, Cody was saying they could only do it together. And then there were also like videos and like evidence that proves that Cody can like do something with his joints or something that would like make a knocking sound.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but then it also came out that all of the details that they said about like Sam and Colby's lives were accessible on the internet. So like unfortunately, there's a lot of evidence that kind of points towards Cody and Satori being frauds, which isn't great because like that would have been really crazy evidence for the paranormal community.
I mean, it's world changing.
Yeah, and I do also understand like boundaries and stuff too. Like Project Fear went to the Conjuring House and like interviewed Cody and Satori, and then like did their own investigation there after Sam and Colby had already been there. And they asked this interview that they did with Cody and Satori was after they'd already filmed there, so it was like months after, and they were like, so I'm sure you guys know of all this like backlash you've been getting from the Hell Week series, like can we ask you a bunch of questions? And so they were just interviewing them and like, essentially interrogating them, and then they asked if they could take off their shoes and do the whatever, the thing, and they both were like respectfully like, no, we're not gonna do that, whatever. And I was like, I totally understand boundaries, however,
if people,
that would be a really easy way for people to believe you.
Right.
Like you can keep your socks on, you don't have to like not have socks on.
Yeah, you don't have to free feet.
Yeah,
but
I get it. Like, I get them wanting to be like, boundaries, we're not doing that. Like, if you can believe us if you want to. If you don't want to, that's also fine. But then at the same time, if they want to keep their credibility,
right,
like, why wouldn't you do that? That's such a simple thing to do. So,
especially because people are like, you're clearly doing something with your feet.
Right.
Because then they'll be like, you can look. Like, no, we're not.
Yeah.
But yeah, anywho,
we're just
spooks.
Yeah, we're just very interested in the paranormal sphere. So for our elementary now, Sam and Colby owns that school, and they're like renovating it to make it like a ghost tour place. So you can do like overnight tours. You can do like a late night tour from like 6 to 10 or something, or 6 to 10:30. So we want to do one of those. But I think before we do that, we should do a more tame one.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that would be
so we don't get haunted by whatever thing might be in the boiler room.
I know.
At that location. So
it's so cool.
Yeah.
I would love that.
I know.
And just a road trip with you would be really, really fun.
Yeah, I think it would be so fun. It would be really fun to document too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've talked about a lot of our interests so far, but some other things that interest us. I mean, we both like a lot of the same kinds of music, which I think I would love to do more like tier list episodes. I feel like that would be really fun. I know an album that I've been listening to, as you know, is Mayhem. I mean, Lady Gaga, hello.
Lady Gaga.
Mother.
Miss Gaga.
And her Coachella set was last night. She headlined Coachella. And so I've been watching like clips of her performances.
Was it incredible?
The only one that I've watched so far fully was Vanish Into You. And like the whole favorite song on the album, I think I've declared. But in that performance, she started on stage and then she like walked around the whole stage and like walked and interacted with her fans and like was taking pictures, and like a fan handed her a bouquet of black like roses, and she hung onto it. I can't speak. She hung onto it and like brought it with her for the rest of like the whole song, and then like kept it. And the reason why I found that video is because on Twitter someone tweeted a screenshot. I'm also not calling it X because fuck Elon Musk, but but I saw on Twitter that someone posted a screenshot on Lady Gaga's TikTok where it was the girl's TikTok that she posted about her making the bouquet and like Lady Gaga taking it. And Gaga responded, and she was like, oh my gosh, that was you. Thank you so much for making it. And like responded this entire paragraph. And she was like,
that's so nice.
Yeah, I should find it so I can read it. But it was like this crazy paragraph. And she was like, I literally had a feeling that like someone was going to give me a gift or something. And I'm so glad that it was you. I'm so glad that I grabbed it. Like, thank you so much. That means everything to me. And the girl like responded, and she was like, holy fuck. Like, and just like was freaking out. She was like, I love you so much. Like, I had like something in my gut was telling me to make these flowers and bring them to you. And like, aww, whatever. Like, it was like such a nice little moment. And to just watch her interact with all of her fans is just always so amazing and incredible. But
that's hard to come by, though. Like, I feel like a lot of, especially for someone that's as big as her, who like she's taking the time, she's reposting TikTok, she's like responding, like taking the time to respond to all of these people. She's so incredible. You don't see that very often.
No,
with someone as big as her.
I know, and I think part of the reason why with Gaga too is because it's been. At least the last time that she headlined Coachella was 2017. So it's been almost 10 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which is wild. But also she hasn't released a new album since since Chromatica, which was 2020. Yeah. So it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
But then also I think the album before then was Joanne. And that was in high school. That was like 2015, 2016. So like she's going like 5 or 6 years in between her album drops. I mean, like obviously A Star Is Born and like Harley Quinn came out and all those things and whatnot. But people were saying, I don't know like all the lore about Lady Gaga, but a lot of people were saying that she stopped touring for a really long time because she was just having a lot of pain and like she was going through a lot of stuff. And so she made like a short tour for Mayhem.
Yeah.
Which there's no way I'm going to get tickets, so I'm not even going to try.
I don't even think there's a Boston
There's a New York show.
Yeah.
I think it's at MSG or something. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But she wanted to tour for this show because she was like, I'm finally so excited. And there's been interviews of her talking about Mayhem and talking about how when she was making Chromatica, like she was suicidal and like it was COVID and there was like all this stuff that was happening, and she was talking about how dark of a place she was in, and that like the fact that Mayhem is like this thing that has just brought her out of that, and it's like a new, like to me it feels like the truest to who Lady Gaga is as an artist than she has been in such a long time.
I know, I agree.
And I think it's the same thing with Taylor when she released Tortured Poets Department. Like it's the same thing. Like it feels so true to Taylor for how she's evolved into this artist.
Yes. Like
over her like discography and over the last 20 years. Yeah. Like it's so cool to see artists finally coming into themselves. And I think it's because we're in an era of recession pop. So
period.
Like, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think that Tortured Poets Department is very much like a lot of different eras coming together as well. I just love it.
I know,
and if you don't, that's fine, but I love it a lot.
Yeah, it's a good album. But yeah, like I think, and even like Kesha's coming out with new music. Selena Gomez is coming out with new music, which is crazy.
Her album, oh my god,
Selena.
Yeah,
I haven't listened to it yet. I know.
Marissa, you have to.
I know I haven't listened to it yet.
There's some really, really great ones on there.
I know. I have to listen to it. I've also just been like super into listening to just like old. Well, I mean, at this point, it's vintage music. I've been listening to like early 2000s music. It came out fucking 25 years ago.
That's
so, like,
crazy that's...
I know. Like tons of The Fray I've been listening to because I know you love The Fray.
I cry with The Fray. The Script.
Yes, The Fray and The Script. Like all of like...
I will cry.
all of your like the songs that you think of when you think early 2000s, like Love Like Whoa, The Reason, like, you know, any of Sum 41, like early Green Day, early Blink 22.
Do you remember Matchbox 20?
Yes.
Nickelback.
Yeah, I even think of like Hot Shell Ray, like Tonight. That's even, I mean, that's like 2010, 2012. But
still.
But even those, like, that was recession pop. So I'm just like super getting into like older music, like the music that I remember listening to when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
Like elementary school, middle school. Like
Hilary
Duff, Most Wanted, Hello, we have it on vinyl. It's in
we listened to it
vinyl
last
collection.
Week.
We did. Like old Jessie McCartney too, old Katy Perry, like California Girls era Katy Perry. Oh my gosh, so good.
So many good things.
Early Lady Gaga, of course.
Of course.
Early Cage the Elephant, always. Yeah, it's just
I've been in a big
good.
Bon Iver kick recently.
You have.
You opened it up to me though. Because
you're welcome.
You sent me one of the Big Red Machine songs with Taylor, and I was like, "You're right, that's so good."
Oh yeah, because it came on my Magic or Smart Shuffle or something.
Yeah, and I was like, Justin Vernon is an incredible man. Like, he has Bon Iver, he has Volcano Choir, he has Big Red Machine, he has all of these things. And you were like, I'd be curious. So I literally sent you like 15 songs, but I was like, here you go. And now I can't stop listening to them.
I know. I think I've decided to, like, I a lot of times we've talked about this a lot. I like songs oftentimes for the sound and how the song makes me feel from the sound as opposed to the lyrics.
Yeah.
I want to get into more, like, I want to start listening to songs more in the sense of, like, their lyrics. So,
I mean, you can't understand what Bon Iver's saying. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
So that's more sound.
But also I was listening, so the songs that you were sending me, I was, like, reading the lyrics on Spotify and I was like, this doesn't make sense.
Nope.
I was like, I truly think that these are just sentences that he made from those, like, fridge magnets with the random words, and then he's just, like, making them into a song.
Oh, trust me. Because, okay.
Like, what does it mean?
A little bit about me, if you don't know. I'm also a dancer. I was a competitive dancer. I'm back to dancing now. I'm choreographing to Comrade by Volcano Choir. And, like, I'm choreographing, right? And, like, a lot of it is, like, okay, like, he says this, and, like, then there's this beat, and, like, all this stuff. And I'm talking to my dancers, and I'm looking at the lyrics, and I'm just reading utter nonsense, and they're like, what? And I'm like, I'm sorry.
You're like, when you hear it, you'll get it.
Yeah, I'm like, you'll hear what he says when I read it out loud, but, like, it doesn't mean much. So
you're like, take it with the grain of salt.
This is just the cue. And they're like, okay. Yeah, there was another time, too, that I choreographed to a Bon Iver song. I think it was my senior year. It was Wash by Bon Iver. And there's one part that he says, like, when the ice snaps. But me and my dancers used to laugh because it sounded like he said, when the ass claps. So I'm like, okay, guys, at ass claps, we're going to do this.
At the ass claps.
But yeah.
That's silly.
Yeah. But we'll talk about music and stuff.
Yes. I think we should do a tier list. I think that would be so fun.
Lists. We can do songs.
Imagine if we did
albums.
But imagine if we did, like, decade tier lists. Like, if we did, like, decades of songs. Like,
I'm curious to see if we agree or not.
I know, because we listen to such different music. Because, like, if you ask me about, like, say we did, like, a decades from, like, 90 to 2000, like, I'm going to be all of my stuff is going to be, like, Nirvana, Green Day, Foo Fighters, Blink-182, like, all of, like, the, like, classic rock, like, punk bands. I don't even know what yours would be. Maybe, I don't even know. I'm
TLC.
Like, yeah. I'm like, not Spice Girls, because they were early 2000s, but, like...
Were they?
I think so.
Probably
late 90s, early 2000s.
I'm, like, trying to remember what I listened to.
Was NSYNC late 90s?
NSYNC was big.
Backstreet Boys?
In my life. NSYNC was big. Britney Spears was big in my life.
Well, Britney was early 2000s.
I know.
Yeah. So I guess we could start then.
Hit clips. Hip
clips.
My stomach just growled
I heard
so
it.
much.
It's hip clips with a P.
It is?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Yeah,
I don't believe you. I think it's hit clips.
No, I'm pretty sure it was hip clips because it's like a little thing. You clip it onto your belt.
Show me proof. But I had a Britney Spears song and a Destiny's Child song that I put in there.
It is hit clips. Why did I think? No.
Because it's their hits.
Oh, there is such thing as a hip clip, but it is for your wallet and tools.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking it gives you a single and then you put it in and it plays that only single song.
Yeah.
So I had a Britney Spears song, yes. And I had a Destiny's Child song. So those are definitely going to be on my...
I had Hilary Duff and Jessie McCartney and Cheetah Girls.
Oh, Jessie McCartney would be on there.
I also had a Tooth Tunes of Cheetah Girls.
I was going to say Cheetah Girls. I think I had one too.
Yeah.
Hannah Montana.
The Climb.
The Climb. That was like...
Taylor Swift wrote that 2000s.
Song. Yes. Oh, yeah.
I was saying it more for them.
Oh, but I know. Of course I know.
Written by yours truly.
I did, as a wee one, choreographed The Climb once in my life.
Who didn't?
I was literally, like 12? And I was, like, dancing around.
Yeah.
For my talent show.
Yeah, I guess so. When did that movie come out? I thought it was 2008.
You weren't 12. I was exactly 12.
You were 12.
I was exactly 12.
Because I was 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'm like, I was born in 1996. I was exactly 12.
Yep. I was like, I'm 98, so that makes me 10.
Yes, exactly. You weren't 12.
No.
Yeah. But, yeah. We also love tarot. We love astrology.
Yeah.
We reference a lot of, like...
We did a whole astrology episode.
I know. That was photography based, though.
Yeah.
So we can talk more about astrology. Yeah. And Marissa's a Cancer. I'm a Capricorn. I have Cancer rising. You are Aquarius rising and moon.
Yeah.
I got some Virgo in me. I'm so sorry, everyone. I got some logic up in here.
I think I love to ironically love astrology.
Yeah.
And I will explain that. I like to unironically love astrology. I said it opposite. It's ironic because I know that it bothers a lot of people, specifically straight men.
Yeah.
But it's ironic also because I actually do enjoy it and I do like it. And to me, sometimes, like most of the time, it rings true. Like, for a lot of the traits for Cancers, I relate to. And then also having Aquarius as my moon and rising, which essentially rule my emotions and like how I present myself to people, like my outer whatever, like my first impressions to people, like that also makes sense because I feel like at least the Aquariuses that I know and have known in the past have been very like crazy chaotic energy, but also like very high emotions and like very just like not quite Aries energy, but like just like it's a lot of energy, but a lot of emotional energy. It's not like they're like self-centered or things like that, like an Aries can be sometimes, or even like a Leo. Steven. Yeah. But I don't know. I love reading about it, and we both have CoStar on our phones, and like it's just funny because every day that I'm like feeling off or something, like I'm always like let me check. Let's see what CoStar says, and then like CoStar will say like, "Don't dwell on the past. It's time to focus on you," or like something general. You're like, or vague.
Fuck off. But there
have literally been times where it is so incredibly specific to an exact situation that I'm going through, and I'm like, okay,
you're like, this is too real.
The FBI agent be typing in my CoStar app and just being like, "Here's a little message for your widget today."
Yeah, and you're
like, okay, thank you so much.
You're like, I needed to hear this, but I didn't need
literally hold on, I want to see what mine is today because I thought today it like ranged pretty true to
I don't check it as often, but I like how I view astrology. I'm very much like I resonate with the traits of what I have in my sun, rising, and moon.
Yeah.
So like I'm a Capricorn. I am very ambitious. I'm very work focused, but I am a Cancer rising, and that's how I present. I'm very emotional. I'm very like emotions kind of like take the forefront as well. So like we can go through, I think we talked about maybe doing like a personality test, but like we both are IN or you're ENFJ, which is like feelings is like where we make a lot of our decisions. So I feel like that's where the Cancer comes from. And then Virgo is very logical, very like, so I'm like,
you're logic backed by emotions.
Yeah.
Which is a really interesting, like,
I'm just a very conflicted person.
Yeah.
To say the least.
But my CoStar thing for today, it says, saying I see you can sometimes be more meaningful than I love you. And like I am so the type of person that needs like so much validation. I'm working on it. But like someone telling me like I see you and I hear you like means so much more to me sometimes than someone just saying like I love you, like you're awesome. Like someone saying like I hear you, I get you, like I'm understanding what you're going through. I'm like I am.
Well, it's that right. It's that whole thing is like to be seen is to be loved. You know? And like when or like even to be known is to be loved. Like when people like see you and know you as like who you are, like you can feel more cherished and validated than someone just being like, I love you. And you're like, that means nothing to me.
Literally, like, perfect example of this is, like, my cousin's girlfriend. She was not able to attend our family Christmas this year, but she fucking made me an air dry clay Christmas tree ornament of Krobus from Stardew Valley, and it was such a specific character from that game, but she knows how much I love Stardew. Yeah. She doesn't have a Switch, so she doesn't play the game. She doesn't know the game, and she found the character, and so she made me a little ornament, and when my cousin gave it to me, she was like, yeah, so, like, you know, Maddie made you something, and I don't fucking know what it is, and I think it looks terrible, but, like, here you go. And I was like, what is it? And I opened up the little package, and I'm, like, unwrapping it, and I look, and I'm like, it's Krobus. And my cousin Janelle, she's like, huh?
And, like, what is a Krobus?
And my whole family's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like sitting there like laughing, but I'm like crying because I'm laughing so much. And I sent a picture to Maddie, and I was like, holy fuck, I love you so much. And then I posted it on my Instagram story, and I was like, to be loved is to be seen. Yeah. And I'm like, this is the craziest thing anyone's ever gotten me. Not actually, but, like, it's one of the craziest things anyone's ever made for me or gotten for me. And I was like, it literally, like all people have to do to show how much they appreciate people is just listen. Yeah. Literally. That's all you have to do. You just have to listen. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be a small thing. Like, I got you a Stardew Valley, like, cookbook. Yeah. Most of my gifts to you this year were Stardew Valley themed for Christmas. Hey,
we love Stardew Valley.
But, like, it's just, like, such, like, random little things sometimes that you find for people, and you're like, oh, like, I remember one time this person said that they loved this thing, so I'm gonna do this. Or, like, if you send someone a reel on Instagram and it's, like, so specific to something that you like, like, that means so much more than someone sending you something that they thought was funny and they think that you'll think it's funny too. Right. You know? Yeah. I'm like, send me some fucking regular show memes and I'll fucking love you forever. Yeah. I love regular show.
I mean, and now our big thing is, I don't watch regular show, but now our big thing is, like, ACOTAR. So we send each other, like, ACOTAR stuff. Yes. I am avoiding Throne of Glass anything so it doesn't spoil anything for me.
But I've already seen a couple of spoilers.
I think I saw one today, too.
Yeah. Yeah, the spoiler that I saw today, it wasn't even a definitive spoiler for ACOTAR. It literally was just someone...
For ACOTAR?
Or not for ACOTAR, sorry. For like, Throne of Glass. How? And it was someone holding up Kingdom of Ash, and the only text on it was their mates. And I was like, fuck! And I, like, threw my phone on my bed. I was like, I don't want to know who that's about because there's so... Oh my god, it's peaking so much. I'm like, I don't know who it's about. There's so many characters in this book that it could literally be anyone. We might not have even met them yet. I was like, so I'm not going to think about it, but now I'm like...
I want to know now. I know. I'm like,
and I'm like, fingers fucking crossed they're talking about Selena and Dorian. I would freak out.
I would love that. Ugh. I would love that. I'm here for it. But we don't have to get into it right now.
That'll be another 2 hours that we'll be sitting here talking about stuff.
We'll talk about it eventually.
Yeah.
But
that was actually another thing that we were thinking about for this podcast too, is like maybe doing like some type of book club or something, or like a like I don't know how we would like incorporate it or do whatever. Maybe it would be like a specifically an Instagram thing or something. But yeah, I know for me, I've said this already this year or last season, that my goal for 2025 is to read 30 books this year.
Mine is half of that. So
yeah, mine was 15 last year, but I currently have completed 6 books. I'm reading 4. I'm almost done with 2. So, like, I will have 10 hopefully soon. And then I just have to read another 20, which won't be too hard. But
I can't read 2 things at a time.
Oh, I can read multiple things at a time.
I have to be in on one.
I mean, things will take my attention. Like, Assassin's Blade right now is taking most of my attention. I haven't really picked up another book in a while. But it's also because I'm reading it with one of my coworkers, too, right now. So... we're, like, trying to get to a specific part of the book before a specific time, because she's also not going to be here for a while. So, like, we're trying to, like, we're rushing this a little bit, and then we're going to take a little bit of, like, a hiatus break so we can read other stuff, and then we're going to finish out the series. But I have a sneaking suspicion I'm going to want to keep going.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's such a good series.
It is.
So far. I'm really enjoying it. If you like... because I know everyone likes to think of Sarah J. Maas, or Maas, whatever, as a more, like, smut-focused, smut-heavy author.
This really isn't.
No, Throne of Glass very much is, like, romance-based. Like, if there's any type of romance, it's all, like, emotional. Like, barely any physical anything is described. Yeah. The most that you'll get is, like, describing what a kiss might feel like. It's not even,
I think I read maybe one seen so far. And that was the first book.
It was literally just a kiss, though. It wasn't really anything. Yeah. And if it talks anything relating sex, it's very, like, it does not describe it in detail like ACOTAR did.
It's not
Reese. It's not Reese. Honestly, this book has been out for long enough, so if this spoils it for you, then that's your own problem. It's not Reese and Feyre level smut. It's not. And it's also not fucking Cassian and Nesta level smut. I will tell you that much. That's insane.
You're so right.
Because when I read that, actually porn.
I was like, I can't have anyone look over my shoulder while I'm reading this stuff.
Here's the thing. I was reading I read most of the ACOTAR. Actually, I read all of the ACOTAR books on my Kindle. Yeah. Thank God I did, because the girlies who have read the book know what you're reading when you read A Court of Winks and Ruin. You know what's going to happen.
I know.
You know what I mean?
That book destroyed me.
It did, but like you know that, or not that. Sorry, I was thinking Court of Silver Flame.
Oh yeah,
that also did. But you know what you're reading when you read A Court of Silver Flame. Like
at that point of the series, you know what you're getting yourself into, and you know these people.
And you know that there's a little moment where like Nesta fantasizes about the Bat Boys. So don't look at me when I'm reading that book, which is why I read it on my Kindle.
I know. I didn't do that.
But you were reading it at home.
I was reading it at home.
You were on a bus for 2 hours a day. I literally had someone come up to me, although it wasn't with ACOTAR, it was with the Percy Jackson series, which I'm also reading. So there's 5 books that I'm reading right now. Crazy. When I was reading the second one, it was the one where Annabeth is with the Weaver. That doesn't make any sense to you because you haven't read the series. To me. I don't remember which one it was. However, it's a lot of people's favorites, and I had this girl stop me on the bus and she was like, I'm so sorry to bother you, I know you're reading, but that's my favorite book in the entire series. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah, like how far are you? And I was almost done, and I was like, I am really liking it so far. And she was like, literally from the first original 5 to the Heroes of Olympus series, that one's my favorite, hands down. I was like, oh my God, Queen. Okay. It was very, very good. Now I'm on the 4th out of 5 books. Yeah. So, but anyway,
something to learn about us is we get sidetracked and we love just talking about everything.
Yes.
So buckle up, strap in, because that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. So, but all of that to be said, all of that aside,
to tie it up in a nice bow.
Yeah, we have so many things that like we want to talk about all the time that unfortunately, with how the first 52 episodes of 55, you're right, 55 episodes of this podcast started out with, we, to be honest, like never really felt like we could fully express who we are to you guys. And for whoever's listening, whether it's, I know most of it's people that we know, so hi. Hey. But like also a decent amount of you are people we've probably never met before.
Yeah.
And like, why not learn about us? Because we like listening to podcasts and watching videos of people where it feels like we're hanging out with friends, and like we're also 2 friends hanging out. So like, why not make it feel the same for you?
Yeah. Come hang out with us.
Yeah.
While we talk about everything that we love. And hopefully you relate too.
Yeah. And like I said before, it doesn't have to be photo related. It can be anything related. If there's anything that you guys want to hear us talk about.
Or if you're like wondering if we're interested in that thing too.
Yeah. Just let us know. Send us an email.
We probably are.
Yeah, exactly. Send us an email. You can also DM us on Instagram. Everything will be linked down below, so you guys can access it there in the description below, Spotify, and also YouTube, maybe, probably,
hopefully,
possibly. But yeah, I feel like that's a really great intro to where we're going now.
Yeah, to kick off season 3.
Yeah, so stay tuned. We have so many fun ideas and things planned for this next season, and we're hopeful that you guys will enjoy it as much as we think we are.
Yeah.
So,
thanks so much for listening.
We'll talk to you guys soon.
Yay. Bye.
Bye.